Welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Engineering and Technology, SOET, Certificate in Smart City Development and Management, CSCDM. MIO 002 Smart Technologies, Hardware and Software. Block 1 IoT, IIoT and IoE. Unit 3 Smart Grid Technologies for Smart Cities, 3.1 Smart Grid, a paradigm shift. The smart cities are to be developed to provide infrastructure to take on the population growth, supply 24/7 reliable power supply, secure every citizen's life with good health, education and employment facilities and make the city more livable, workable and sustainable. Energy is the starting point for smart cities. Ever-increasing energy demand is the challenge of the day. The non-polluting energy requirement is the need of the hour. Electricity plays a vital role in both the day-to-day life of people and economic development. To ensure a 24/7 sustainable supply of electricity and energy security, the efficient management of the electricity distribution network through the use of intelligent devices that can monitor and control power flows in real time has become necessary. In order to bring efficiency and sustainability to the electricity distribution sector in India, the introduction of smart grid technologies is envisaged through initiatives of the central government such as the Restructured Accelerated Power Development and Reforms Program, RAPDRP, National Electric Mobility Mission Plan, NMEM, Jawaharlal Nehru National Solar Mission, JNNSM, National Smart Grid Mission, NSGM, Integrated Power Development Scheme, IPDS, and net metering regulations including amendments to the Electricity Act 2003. Utilities in India are embarking on transitions toward a smarter grid, harnessing digital communications and control technologies for multiple functionalities aimed at making utilities more robust, efficient and sustainable. Objectives. After studying this unit, you should be able to define smart grid and microgrid, explain the working in smart grid and its application, describe automation technologies, energy storage technologies etc., and discuss ICTs and cybersecurity applications in smart cities. 3.1.2 Smart Grids for Smart Cities. Smart grid is an electricity grid with communication, automation and IT systems that enable real-time monitoring and control of power flow from points of generation to points of consumption at the appliances level. It is an evolving grid system that manages electricity demand in a sustainable, reliable, and economic manner built on advanced digital infrastructure and tuned to facilitate the integration of both demand and supply. Smart grid can implement basic building blocks for smart cities which can be utilized by other utilities like water, sewerage, piped gas, telecom, street lights, etc., to integrate other solutions of smart cities and create a holistic ecosystem with common command and control over multiple utility operations. Preliminary studies by India Smart Grid Forum, ISGF, indicate that in towns with AT, extending it to cover other domains and services to build smart cities can be achieved at marginal cost. The interconnection of power, GIS data of all infrastructure and services in an integrated fashion, with rules for sharing, security, etc. This helps in spatial planning, smart electricity grids that ensure a 24/7 stable supply of electricity to all citizens. High levels of the renewable energy mix that is integrated with the smart power grid, evolution to smart microgrid that can island from main grids. Electric vehicle, EV, charging infrastructure and ability to operate a large fleet of grid-connected EVs as virtual power plants, VPPs. Intelligent buildings with rooftop PV and EV charging facilities integrated with automation systems of the electric utility participating in the demand response market. Demand response, Dr., that would create a negawatt market infrastructure that permits its aggregation for meaningful dispatch. Integrated billing systems for a variety of services, electricity, water, gas, internet, house tax etc., common customer care centers and user-friendly payment platform for online payments. Digital security surveillance systems integrated with emergency services, police, fire, ambulance, municipality etc. Energy independence in the long term and intelligent energy harvesting that would recycle incoming energy flows. Sharing of data between various domains, and building smart analytical tools that can optimize assets and operations, and issue early warnings and alerts. Cyber security of various data centers and critical information centers. Create new business models through enhanced information flows. Consumer engagement and improved system control. Common command and control center for all complaints, services and seamless payment system for all services. RF canopy networks for electricity, water, gas, transport, weather, waste, network applications, etc. 3.1.3 Smart grids for utilities. Smart grid technologies have proved worldwide that these can improve the performance of the utilities, bring efficiency in day-to-day operations and pass on the benefits to customers through utility services. With a basket of technology and size options, homeowners worldwide are increasingly able to produce power and sell power from tens of watts up to a few kilowatts. They are changing from passive consumers to active microgenerators, called prosumers. Smart grid integrates 21st century technology with the 20th century electrical grid. It is a conglomeration of intelligent monitoring, automation, controlled manner on a real-time basis. The European Technology Platform defines the smart grid as, a smart grid is an electricity network that can intelligently integrate the actions of all the users connected to it, generators, consumers and those that do both in order to efficiently deliver sustainable, economic and secure electricity supplies. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, a smart grid uses digital technology to improve reliability, security, and efficiency, both economic and energy, of the electric systems from large generation, through the delivery systems to electricity consumers and a growing number of distributed generation and storage resources. 3.1.4 Benefits of Smart Grid. The major benefits of a smart grid are as follows. A. Economic. Reduction in electricity bill amount of consumers. Reduced meter reading cost savings from peak load reduction. Less monetary loss to utility due to less downtime. No financial penalties to utilities due to improved power quality. Reduced maintenance costs due to less equipment failures. Deferred investment for generation, transmission, and distribution expenditure. Reduced operations and maintenance costs. Reduction in power purchase cost. Potential to leverage smart grid assets for other smart city services which can be additional revenue streams. B. Service. Improved reliability. Improved quality. Increased efficiency of power delivery. Reduction in AT. Enabling faster restoration of electricity service after faults. Reduction in field and meter services. Remote feeder automation. Reduced outage duration. Better forecasting of electricity demand with analytics tools. Consumption management. Improved system security. Enhanced business and residential consumer service. Integration of renewable energy resources and prosumer enablement. Consumers' participation in energy management. Expansion of access to electricity. More resilience to grid failure. C. Environmental. Enabling the integration of clean, renewable generation sources. Reducing electrical losses. Increasing the penetration of distributed energy resources. Increasing energy conservation through feedback to consumers. 3.1.5 Overview of enabling technologies in smart grid. Smart grid technologies consist of sets of advanced technologies spanning over the entire grid, from generation through transmission and distribution to various types of electricity consumers. The deployment of these technologies in a fully optimized electricity system is shown in Figure 3.2. Figure 3.2, Smart Grid Technology Areas. Look at the screen. A smart grid infrastructure comprises of various components as shown in Figure 3.3. Figure 3.3, Components, 3.1.5 Building blocks of enabling technologies. Major enabling intelligent technologies which are building blocks of the smart grid. Various attributes mentioned above are described below. Sensing and measurement technologies. It will enable faster and more accurate responses such as remote measurement. Customer premises. The information is transferred to utility control through a communication mode such GPRS, PLC, RF. Smart meters will also enable time of day, TOD, and critical peak pricing, CPP, real-time pricing, RTP, rate metering and monitoring based on energy consumption. Demand-side management and demand response, DSM. Whereas demand response places the on-off switch in the hands of the consumer. Demand response refers to mechanisms used to encourage consumers to voluntarily usage at specific times of the day, such as peak hours, during high electricity prices, time of use tariffs, or during emergencies, such as preventing a blackout. Depending on the generation capacity, demand response is also used to shift demand, load, from peak to off-peak hour times of high production and low demand. In demand response, the consumer voluntarily manages his demand in response to prices, incentive signals given by the utility. Power quality management, PQM. Power quality management addresses events like voltage flickering, sags, swells, unbalanced phases voltages and harmonic, distorted, contaminated supply etc. This will facilitate efficient and reliable operation of the power system, reduce losses, improve customer satisfaction, reduced equipment, utility, consumer failures. Power quality management shall include voltage, VAR control, load balancing, harmonics controller, etc. Outage management system, OMS. OMS manages unscheduled and scheduled outages of distribution infrastructure like distribution transformers, DTS, HT, lieutenant feeders etc. It collects and coordinates information about outages including customer calls and report the operator for taking corrective actions through crew management and remote control, enabling customer satisfaction, reduce duration, frequency of outages, improve system availability and reliability. It helps in proactive maintenance planning also. Advanced power electronics. Advanced power electronics enables power flow control, enhanced asset utilization, maintain system stability, integration of distributed resources. Renewable energy integration. Volatility, variability, harmonic distortions, DC injection etc. are also needed due emphasis while integrating RES into the grid. Microgrid. A microgrid is an integrated energy and communication system consisting of interconnected loads and distributed energy resources, DA, which mainly operates in standalone mode or in parallel with the grid, macrogrid, in case of emergency. Microgrid generation resources include microturbines, wind, solar, fuel cells or other energy sources. The multiple dispersed generation sources and ability to isolate the microgrid from a larger network provides highly reliable electric power to its consumers. Wide area measurement, WAM, systems. At present, measurement and monitoring of electricity grid is performed through SCADA, EMS systems. They provide steady-state view of the power system. These systems take a minute to deliver a snapshot of a system whose characteristics are changing very fast. In contrast to conventional SCADA system where RTUs are used to acquire voltage, current and frequency, wide area monitoring system acquires current, voltage, both magnitude and phase angle, and frequency measurement by phasor measurement unit, PMU, and are also time synchronized via global positioning system, GPS, receiver to a time resolution of 1 microsec. So that real-time dynamic state measurements, monitoring of system across the widely spread grid is possible. Since the information through WAMS is time synchronized, they also provide opportunity to control and protect the systems based on wide area signals. Energy storage systems. Large-scale energy storage devices shall act as energy reservoirs injecting electricity in maintaining grid parameters during contingencies such as sudden loss of renewable power etc. It shall also provide thrust for use of surplus renewable energy available during off-peak hours, which can be stored. Storage technology broadly includes pumped storage plants, batteries, both conventional and advanced, with power electronics and control systems. Plug-in electric vehicle, PEV. Plug-in electric vehicle, PEV, utilizes rechargeable batteries that can be restored to full charge by connecting them to the external electric power source. Refueling the PEV is accomplished by connection to the electrical grid through a connector system that is designed specifically for this purpose. Most advanced PEVs have the ability to recapture some of the energy storage utilized through regenerative braking, in simple terms, converting the propulsion motor into a generator when braking. When regenerative braking is applied, PEVs can typically recover 5 to 15% of the energy used to propel the vehicle to the vehicle's speed prior to braking. Solar photovoltaic (PV) panels on vehicle roofs are also installed to provide power to accessory loads in vehicles. Information and Communication Technologies (ICT). ICT connects various smart grid components in an open architecture for real-time information, monitoring and control, allowing every part of the grid to interact with each other. Standard communication medium, technology and protocols are used to share information in generation, transmission and distribution networks with intelligent devices. This information exchange between centrally located servers and field equipment is achieved through various communications media on open standards. These systems are also connected to corporate network for sharing energy information with different business models. The use of open standard and connectivity to public networks has exposed systems to cyber attacks. Cyber security is an important part of smart grid. Smart grid technology will transform the existing grid to future digital grid as shown in Table 3. 1. Table 3.1 Comparison between existing. These capabilities are now extended to distribution area through demand-side management with the aim to optimize demand, shifting of peak energy and network availability. Advanced Metering Infrastructure (AMI) is installed to monitor, manage and control the load at consumer premises. 3.2.2 Advanced Metering Infrastructure (AMI). Electricity meters are used to measure the quantity of electricity supplied to customers as well as to calculate energy and transportation charges for electricity retailers and network operators. The most common type of meter is an accumulation meter, which records energy consumption over time. In recent years, industrial and commercial consumers with large loads have increasingly been using more advanced meters, for example, interval meters, special energy meters being used for ABD, which record high energy over short intervals, typically every 15 minutes. After the accumulation meter, another generation of meter commonly known as AMRA, automatic meter reading, meters were introduced, where energy consumption information is being transferred periodically, say monthly, from the meters to the energy supplier and/or network operator using low-speed one-way communication networks. AMRA has given way to more advanced two-way communication infrastructure, AMI, which supports applications like varying tariffs, demand-side management, remote connect, disconnect, online energy consumption information etc. 3.2.2.1 Key components of AMI. AMI refers to systems that measure, collect, analyze, transmit and manage energy use using advanced information. Smart meter is equipped with local display through which consumer can monitor their consumption pattern. Presently, in general data transfer from meter is on proprietary protocol. DLMS, COSEM data transfer protocol is developed as standard for data transfer between meters to DCU, Smart Grid Center. 3.2.2.2 Communication Infrastructure and Protocols for AMI. The different components in AMI are linked together with communication path and sensor nodes to provide interoperability between them. Two types of information infrastructure are needed for information flow in AMI. First, from sensors and electrical appliance to smart meters, called Home Area Network, HA, and second between smart meters to utility data center. First data flow is accomplished through power line communication or wireless communication like Zigbee, RF and others. For second flow, cellular technologies like GSM, GPRS, CDMA and Internet is used. The technology choice depends upon the type of environment. Typical communications architecture for the smart metering comprises of Wide Area Network, WAN, and Home Area Network, HAN. Wide Area Network, WAN. Wide Area Network connects AMI network with utility network on private or public network. Home Area Network, HA. A Home Area Network, HA, is an integrated system of a smart meter, in-home display, microgeneration, smart appliances, smart sockets, HVAC facilities and plug-in hybrid, electric vehicles. A HA enables centralized energy management which includes energy monitoring and display, controlling smart appliances and smart plugs, scheduling and remote operation of household appliances and household security systems for the comfort and convenience of consumers. It is expected that HA will be beneficial to the utilities in implementing demand response. It would also be helpful in management of dispersed generation and the charging of electric vehicles. Summary of AMI communication technologies is as shown in Table 3.2. Table 3.2, Communication Technologies for AMI. Look at the screen. 3.2.2.3 Data Concentrator Unit, DCU. The data from the field meters are aggregated by a Data Concentrator Unit, DCU, as shown in Figure 3.6 and then sent to the Utility Control Center. It also sends messages, signals received from the utility, consumer for a particular, all meters to the intended recipient. 3.2.2.4 Meter Data Acquisition System, MDAS. MDAS is a critical component of AMI system. It collects meter data directly from meter or through DCU and sends load control, curtailment signals, connect, disconnect, pricing and other signals to the smart meter. MDAS exchanges meter data to meter data management systems coupled with analytics on standard data exchange model. 3.2.2.5 Meter Data Management System, MDMS. MDMS is the heart of AMI systems. MDMS application analyzes the meter data along with GIS mapping and consumer indexing. It facilitates billing, collection, energy accounting, load research, load management etc. The customer portal and many other utility, consumer-centric applications depend on the data. Utility manages the demand-side operations through this control center. It is normally co-located with load management, energy accounting, auditing, metering, outage management system, OMS, power quality management, PQM, energy storage and distributed generation. Typical distribution management architecture with AMI interfaces as shown in Figure 3.8. Figure 3.8, AMI interface. Main features of AMI are recording energy consumption data for consumer and utility, kWh, kVARH, voltage, PF, max demand etc. Automatically send the consumption data to the utility at predefined intervals. Time-based pricing signal for demand response. Bidirectional communication ability. Net metering to facilitate integration of distributed generation in the form of rooftop solar etc. Loss of power and restoration, event notification. Remote load limiting for peak load management. Remote connection and disconnection of individual supply energy prepayment. Reporting meter tampering in real time to the utility. Communications with other intelligent devices in the home gateway to communicate other meters data, gas, water, benefits of AMI. Advanced metering infrastructure provides following benefits. Availability of energy usage information of each consumer to utility as well as to consumer himself. Energy audit for set time interval to check theft. DSI can help defer investment in new infrastructure by reducing system peak demand. In practice, the potential of DSI depends on availability and timing of information provided to consumers, the duration and timing of their demand response, performance of the ICT infrastructure, metering, automation of end-use equipment and pricing, contracts. Various terms used in demand-side integration are demand-side management, DSM, utility activities that influence customer use of electricity. This encompasses the planning, implementation and monitoring of activities designed to encourage consumers to change their electricity use pattern. Demand response, DR, mechanisms to manage the demand in response to supply conditions and price signals. Demand-side participation, a set of strategies used in a competitive electricity market by end-use customers to contribute to economic, system security and environmental benefits. Demand-side resources such as flexible loads, distributed generation and storage can provide various services to the power system by modifying the load consumption patterns. Such services can include load shifting, valley filling, peak clipping, dynamic energy management, energy efficiency improvement and strategic load growth. DSI programs can significantly reduce the energy need during peak hour. 3.2.3.1 Peak Load Management, PLM. The PLM application collects information from various systems like the load forecast, SCADA, and MDM subsystems. Based on these inputs, power demand supply is determined for present and the next time block and the deficit, surplus is worked out. Based on the deficit, surplus demand response, demand-side management signals are sent out to the consumers. The system then aggregates the consumer's response to these signals. Peak load management would also require shifting of load, segregation of critical and non-critical load etc. 3.2.4 Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition System, SCADA. In a distribution, transmission system, when equipment are large in number and scattered over a huge area, it becomes difficult for simultaneous monitoring of these equipment manually. This necessitates the use of SCADA system. SCADA encompasses the transfer of data between a SCADA central host computer and a number of remote terminal units, RTUs, and/or programmable logic controllers, and the operator terminals. A SCADA system gathers information, such as voltage, current, CB status, operation of relay during fault, etc., transfers the information to central host computer, that fault has occurred, carry out control and necessary action, and display the information in a logical and organized fashion. SCADA systems consist of one or more field data interface devices, usually RTUs, which interface to field sensing devices and local control switchboxes. RTU transfers data to control center on standard Modbus, DNP3 A60870, 5, 101, 103 104 protocols. A communication system used to transfer data between field data interface devices and control units and the computers in the SCADA central host. The communication system can be PLC, telephone cable, optic fiber, satellite, etc., or any combination of these. A central host computer server or servers, sometimes called a SCADA center, master station, or master terminal unit, MTU. A collection of standard and/or custom software, sometimes called human-machine interface, HMI, software or man-machine interface, MMI, software, systems used to provide the SCADA central host and operator terminal application, support the communication system, and monitor and control remotely located field data interface devices. Following functions are performed by SCADA system. Data acquisition provides telemetred measurements and status information to operator. 1. Supervisory control allows operator to remotely control devices, e.g. open, close of circuit breakers. 2. Data processing. This includes alarms which informs operator of unplanned events and undesirable operating conditions, sequence of event, SOE, recording and generalized calculations. 3. Disturbance data collection. This includes collection of outage data from relays. 4. Historical information storage. DMS access real-time data and provides all information on a single console at the control center in an integrated manner. DMS grew initially from SCADA systems, but it performs more functions with better visualization. Load balancing via feeder reconfiguration, LBFR, operations monitor. Load forecasting. Distribution management system will result in following: reduction in the duration of outages, improvement in speed and accuracy of outage predictions, reduction in crew patrol and drive times through improved outage locating. Determine the crew resources necessary to achieve restoration. Objectives: effectively utilize resources between operating regions. Determine when best to schedule mutual aid crews. Increased customer satisfaction. Provide customers with more accurate estimated restoration times. Improve service reliability by tracking all customers affected by an outage, determining electrical configurations of every device on every feeder, and compiling details about each restoration process. Thus, distribution management system is more advanced than SCADA system and results in decrease in outage time, outage cost and reliable power supply too. Consumers. 3.2.6 Outage Management System, OMS. Outage Management System is a system which is more advanced with respect to automated distribution system. OMS will have higher level of intelligence. Efficiently. Field equipment like fault passage indicators, FPI, which communicate faulty section location to control center and helps in reduction of outage duration as patrolling for fault finding would be required for detected section only. Distribution Transformer Monitoring Units, DTMU, which monitor oil temperature, oil level. For real-time monitoring. Interface with advanced metering infrastructure for loss of power. From different feeder points, DT, RMU at field locations to control center. These RTUs, FERTIS receive command from control center for operation of switches at site to achieve faster restoration, isolation. Distribution Transformer Monitoring Units, TMUs. The DTMUs monitor oil levels, oil temperatures, loading conditions and internal fault in distribution transformers. This will also help in taking proactive actions for maintenance of distribution transformer. Fault Passage Indicators, FPI. Fault Passage Indicators as shown in Figure 3.12. It identifies location, type of faults through visual indications at control center. The identification of section under fault is used to direct maintenance crew for quick recovery of faulty section for subsequent restoration of faulty part. Outage management systems manage outages by way of manual intervention, self-healing and maintenance crew management. Continuous monitoring of the system helps in proactive. Whenever a fault take place, following information shall reach control center. A. Location of fault through FPI. FPI in faulty section will operate due to high fault conditions. B. The energization status of the consumers shall be communicated by smart meters installed under advanced metering infrastructure to the meter data management system, which will share the information of such consumer with outage management system. C. The information of CB or auto reclosures, AR, switches of faulty section shall be sent via RTU, communication gateway to control center SCADA system, from where same shall be shared with outage management system. D. Customer complaints for non-receipt of power shall be logged customer care center, which would obtain information about customer with GIS mapping interface and would further communicate the information to outage management system. A. OMS shall collate the above information to explore the network topology for healing the affected customers by alternate route and shall suggest operator for suitable operations. At the same time, maintenance team shall be directed to fault location immediately. This will reduce time spent on searching of fault. Outage management system reduces outage time and maintenance cost. It prevents failure of distribution transformer on account of low oil level, overloading, unbalancing etc. In dispatching crew team immediately for fault rectification based on expertise of available crew members. Outage management system thus provides better picture of outage duration to utility as well as customer. 3.2.7 Power Quality Management System. Power quality is a set of electrical boundaries that allows an equipment to function in its intended manner without significant loss of performance or life expectancy. Faults, dynamic operations, nonlinear loads, increased use of sensitive electronic circuitry by industrial and residential customer, long length. Low voltage. Voltage unbalance is handled by shunt-connected thyristor-controlled static whir compensator and changing the system configuration through manual and automatic feeder switching. Flicker is defined as impression of unsteadiness of visual sensation induced by a light stimulus whose luminance or spectral distribution fluctuates with time. It can be eliminated by proper designing the power system to handle load variations, using rapid response voltage regulators, static whir compensators, or fast response reactive compensation using inverter reactive power. Capabilities. 3.3.1 Introduction. Large quantity of electrical energy can be stored using pumped hydro or underground compressed air facilities. Similarly, quantities of energy can be stored in batteries, flywheels and superconducting magnetic energy storage (SMES) devices. Fuel cells convert a continuous source of chemical energy into electricity but have a similar impact on the power network as some energy storage systems. A comprehensive comparison and assessment of all storage technologies is as shown in Figure 3.13. Figure 3.13, Comparison of rated power and discharge time of different energy storage technologies. Look at the screen. Some of the applications of energy storage are as follows. Power quality. Battery energy storage is used in uninterruptible power supplies to mitigate short-term loss of power and power fluctuations. Energy storage can also be used to mitigate voltage fluctuations and improve some other power quality issues such as harmonics. Service provision to renewable generation. Energy storage could be a support for integration of renewable energy sources that is having intermittent supply and lack of controllability as their inherent characteristics. Energy storage can smooth the output of renewable energy sources and matches the energy demand. Battery energy storage can also smooth the output power of wind farms. Electrical energy time shifting. Energy can be stored when demand is low or at times when the price is low and discharging the energy when demand is high or at times when the price is high. It also supports distribution networks by relieving congestion during peak demand periods by supplying locally. End-use energy management. Energy storage could provide benefits to end users who are on time of use tariff through electrical energy time shifting or who have micro-generation. Voltage support. In distribution network, both active and reactive power needs to be used for voltage control due to low X/R ratio of the network. Distributed energy storage may be attractive as it can provide both active and reactive power and control voltage while reducing the reactive power flows in the network. Reserve energy storage as an ancillary service can be used to maintain system stability under unexpected connection, disconnection of load, generation. Load following. The energy storage can be used as a good ancillary service for the utilities experiencing frequently changing power demand as their response is quick with a high efficiency. 3.3.2 Batteries. Batteries store energy in chemical form during charging and discharge electrical energy when connected to a load. Example, lead acid and sodium sulfur, NAS, batteries. Lithium ion, Li-ion, nickel cadmium, NiCd, nickel metal hydrides, NiM. Flow battery. A flow battery is a rechargeable fuel cell in which an electrolyte containing one or more dissolved electroactive elements flow through an electrochemical cell that reversibly converts chemical energy directly to electricity. Fuel cell. Most of the fuel cells use hydrogen and oxygen as their main fuel. Flywheels. Flywheels store kinetic energy in a rotating mass and release it by slowing the rotation when electrical energy is required. Superconducting magnetic energy storage (SMES) system. In this system, a magnetic field is created by direct current passing through a superconducting coil. 3.4 Renewable generation. 3.4.1 Introduction. Renewable energy sources are being developed in many countries to reduce CO2 emission and provide sustainable electrical power. Of them, hydro, wind, biomass, solid biomass, bioliquids and biogas, tidal stream, and photovoltaic (PV) are common choices. Variable speed turbines are used for wind. Small hydro and tidal power generation. These generally use AC-DC power conversion where the turbine is arranged to rotate at the optimum speed to extract the maximum power from the fluid flow or minimize mechanical loads on the turbine. The variable frequency power output from the generator is first converted to DC. A second converter is used to convert DC into 50/60ths of a Hz AC. The output of a PV system is DC and therefore a DC-AC converter is essential for grid connection. Biomass technologies use a steam or gas turbine and a conventional generator. Reciprocating engines may be fueled by biogas. They generally use a synchronous generator connected to the grid directly. The power electronic interface between a renewable energy source and grid can be used to control reactive power output and hence the network voltage as well as curtailing real power output, and so enable the generator to respond to the requirements of the grid. 3.4.2 Solar Power Generation Technology. Solar power generation technology can be broadly classified into two categories. I. Solar photovoltaic, converting solar energy to electricity directly using photoelectric effect in a PN junction. E. Solar thermal, utilizing heat energy of solar radiation to generate steam and run a turbine generator. Solar photovoltaic systems. A solar cell is a semiconducting device made of silicon materials, which, when exposed to sunlight, generates electricity. Solar cells are connected in series and parallel combinations to form modules that provide the required power. PV, photovoltaic, technology is based on the principle of direct conversion of solar irradiation into electrical power by using the photovoltaic effect. It uses the PN junction to convert light to electricity. Wind, hydro, and tidal energy systems. Wind, hydro and tidal generation systems all involve converting the potential and/or kinetic energy in water or air into electrical energy. Hydropower is a mature technology with units varying size from kW to hundreds of MW. Tidal stream generation is a more recent innovation and the subject of considerable research and development effort. 3.4.3 Microgrid. A microgrid is an integrated energy system consisting of interconnected loads and distributed energy sources, DES, in the form of PV rooftop solar, wind generation, biomass generation etc., that can be connected to the grid or in an intentional island mode. The objective is to ensure better energy reliability, security, and efficiency. Scale and location of the microgrid are important factors. Microgrids should be constructed at the low voltage, LV, or medium voltage, MV, level. The key defining characteristics of a microgrid are as follows. Provides sufficient and continuous energy to a internal demand. Significant portion of the has its own internal control and optimization strategy. Can be islanded and reconnected with minimal service disruption. Can be used as a flexible controlled entity to provide services. Optimization for the grid or the energy market. Has energy storage capacity. Look at the screen. Figure 3.14, Microgrid features. A microgrid's capability to self-manage and define operational strategies concerning islanding mode and self-reconfiguration makes it the ultimate, smart grid, offering. The microgrid features are as shown in Figure 3.14. Several drivers are pushing towards strong and quick deployment of microgrids. Environmental incentive by helping renewable generation integration, cost-effective access to electricity for rural or remotely located areas, reliability. Security through islanding capability, efficiency, progress in energy storage technologies. 3.4.4 Renewable generation integration. Renewable power, mainly solar and wind, are intermittent and uncertain in nature, which poses challenge in their integration with electricity grid. Solar power generation depends on sun's insolation level. Solar generation follows, relatively, a certain pattern with high generation during the daytime and almost nil generation in the night, early morning and evening hours. Any cloud formation or rain makes sudden change in power output. Therefore, while integrating renewable energy into grid, certain precautions are taken to tackle sudden variation. Wind power generation is dependent upon velocity of wind, and any change in velocity results into variation in output. Renewable generation, mainly wind and solar, are having intermittent and variable characteristics. In the case of integration of large scale, such type of volatile renewable generation may pose challenges in grid security and stability. For this, suitable balancing mechanism to cater for volatility in the form of quick ramping generators, flexible loads are essential. To address such volatility, following measures are required to be taken up. Strong grid interconnections, enlarging balancing area, enabling interconnection with quick start generators, large storage facilities, demand side response management and storage for load balancing, forecasting of renewable generation. Installation of advanced forecasting tools in control center. Deployment of synchrophasor technology, i.e. PMUS, WAMS on pooling stations and interconnection with centralized control center for real-time information, monitoring and control. Dynamic compensation. Energy storage systems. 3.5 INFORM ATION. 3.5.1 Introduction. Data communication systems are essential in any modern power system, and their importance will only increase as the smart grid develops. Successful implementation of smart grid depends extremely on the reliable communications between a broad set of geographically distributed elements, including hardware, sensors and control devices that enable to integrate and interface with control. 3.5.2 Communication technologies for the smart grid. Overview of possible communication infrastructure for the smart grid is as shown at Figure 3.16. Figure 3.16, Overview of communication infrastructure for smart grid. Look at the screen. 3.6 Cyber security. 3.6.1 Introduction. With the introduction of information and communication technology in power sector and also applying the concepts of smart grid, the whole power sector is now available in the cyberspace. This has exposed the electricity sector to cyber attacks. Due to the interconnection of information networks, increased number of entry points and paths are now available for potential adversaries and unauthorized users to disrupt electricity services. Power sector application like SCADA, WAMS, AMI, OHMs that are using these information networks becomes vulnerable to the attack. Any attack on AMI, SCADA, and OHMs may lead to commercial loss apart from breach of important information and jeopardizing of controlling and monitoring operation of the grid. For example, any attack on a centralized distribution monitoring system can cause power supply failure. A disruption to critical infrastructure, customers like hospitals, metro, and railways etc., is of strategic concern. 3.6.2 Cyber security requirements. To address cyber threats, security measures in smart grid are classified into the following five categories. Availability. Availability means information networks are available for use by the appropriate parties in the manner intended. Availability of the system is ensured by monitoring the ICT network at the device level, communication level and at control center end. Authorization. Authorization is a security service that ensures that a party may only perform the actions that they are allowed to perform. Integrity. Integrity assures that data, information cannot be altered in an unauthorized or malicious manner. Strong point-to-point communication schemes are used to prevent spoofing and injection of false data. Confidentiality. Confidentiality means data, information is being protected from being disclosed to a third party. Confidentiality of data and information is achieved by providing role-based access at both data. RTU. Following measures will ensure the security of data at different node. 3.6.4 Security at device level. To ensure security at the metering and measurement end, device must have the following features. Ability to make sure that control operations originate from an authorized control center. Ability to identify that remote. The ability to assign functions and features based on the user account, an audit trail that lists events in the order they occurred. The ability to monitor security events and make the information available to control centers. A mechanism through which a control center can grant or refuse access to a function or feature. IEC 62351 Standard Security Requirements and Standard Data Transfer Protocol for Smart Grid Applications incorporate all the above security provisions. 3.6.5 Securing the communication link. On communication link, connections are generally established on TCP/IP link using Standard Point-to-Point Protocol (PPP) with handshake authentication (CHAP) authentication. The authentication prevents an unauthorized party from gaining access to the network. The authentication requires that a secret password be shared between both parties, thus allowing only authorized party to access the communication network. Communication link can also be secured by setting up virtual private network (VPN) to ensure the authenticity of both network endpoints and the confidentiality of the data. The present recommendation on protecting the information flow is through the use of Transport Layer Security (TLS), previously known as SSL, to authenticate both parties and encrypt the data. As the TLS protocol is implemented at the application level, it provides very good security between the control center and the field device. TLS must be supported at both ends and requires the use of a certificate to establish authenticity. 3.6.6 Securing Control Center. At the control center end, the customer information is protected, with only authorized systems being allowed to access specific sets of data. Following standard IT security measures are used for ensuring security at the control center. Firewall protection for network, a technological barrier designed to prevent unauthorized access or unwanted communications between sections of a computer network. A firewall is a dedicated appliance or software running on a computer, dedicated hardware, which inspects network traffic passing through it, and denies or permits passage based on a set of rules. It is placed between a protected network, control center, and an unprotected network, users and field devices used to provide information, access, and acts like a gate to protect assets to ensure that nothing private goes out and nothing malicious comes in. Antivirus protection. Antivirus software keeps viruses away from the system. They prevent the attack from several types of viruses such as spyware, adware, trojans, malware, and worms. Without antivirus protection, systems are vulnerable to virus attack, like changing registry settings to make all programs unusable, corrupting or removing vital system files to make the system unbootable, and changing the user password to make it almost impossible to log into your computer. Apart from implementing required measures at all levels, following security checks should be carried out regularly to ensure that IT infrastructure is cyber secured. Regular third-party external and internal security audits. Controlling endpoints, segment-sensitive systems and information. Auditing networks protection policy. Rules of network devices, auditing web applications. Searching for bad passwords. Integrating security into every project plan, examining the policies of business partners, following a solid incident response plan. 3.7 SUMMARY. This unit discussed various aspects of smart grid technologies. These smart grid technologies are core to any smart city development. Components of smart grid technologies have been explained in detail. Advanced metering infrastructure, AMI, their key components and benefits have been incorporated into this unit. Apart from that, an overview of storage technologies and microgrids has been included in this unit. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video with the next chapter.